Hello everyone, this is Quiversee, and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Last time, we took a visit to the fishing pond, which... Oh, hit the wrong button. There is a pin here that I would like to get rid of, because it's already marked with fishing pond. Spent some time there, and then took a tour of the mysterious forest. Got lost and got hurt a lot in there for a bit. Got ourselves some magic powder from the witch's hut thanks to the magical toadstool, which we then sprinkled on the raccoon, which turned out to be Terran, only to get the key to the Tail Cave. And that's where we are now. Actually, before we go in there, I never hit this. What is memory? Oh! So you can... Yeah, you can replay the... Oh, that's a nice touch. And you can see where you've gotten seashells and pieces of heart. That is going to be very helpful later. Anyways, for now, the Tail Cave. Level 1, Tail Cave. Yep, dungeon map now. So... I guess I will start off with this. Oh, these things. Oh! They kind of look like Buzzy Beetles. I never really knew what to make of them. I think they're just called hard hat beetles. But they look like Buzzy Beetles in this, and that's kind of adorable. Anyways, I haven't really talked about the, Oh, slime's in here. And a Guardian Acorn, of course. So unfortunately, the Guardian Acorn's piece of power are still pretty prevalent. We got the compass! I keep getting interrupted by stuff in the game. Now you can see where the chests and nightmare are hidden. As a new feature, a tone will tell you if a key is nearby. Basically, yeah, it'll play a jingle when you enter a room that has a key. Yeah, I like the dungeon's musics in this game, and every time you get a piece of power Guardian Acorn, it gives this jingle. And while it's not as intrusive as in the original, it still kind of is. Anyways, to my original thought, I haven't really talked about the D&D interpretation. There was the key jingle of this that I did yet. And the Tail Cave is one of the first things I remember doing, because you see these little hard hat beetles? They were one of the things I actually incorporated in a very strange way. Basically, the way I did them was, that they were heavily an anti-magic thing. So, essentially what they did... Got another small key, there we go. What they did was, anytime magic was used in their area, they would essentially absorb and redirect the effect. So, it had the characters had to, like, really stop and think on their toes before casting any kind of spells. Because I put them all over the place as just, like, traps less so than enemies. Other than that, as I recall, I basically had the Tail Cave be sort of like an abandoned bandit den of sorts. Oh, interesting. Yeah, kind of going back to how the original worked, this, again, did not used to be a single connected space. It was... You know, each of these areas with its own screen. So you have to go to where the screens merged. And it has to play the jingle. Which is kind of a neat touch. Yeah, 20 rupees! Joy! Admittedly, it's one of the areas that I remember the least about. We have 3 small keys already. In terms of, like, specifics. But I guess what I'll say is, this was not something I did in, like, the minds of it being a new campaign. It was actually something I had done as part of a pre-existing one. By that point in time, the party was already extremely high level. I should clarify, this was done in the 3.5 edition. And they were, like, when they got to this area, they were, like, level 17, 18, that range. So they were very strong already. And one thing I remember I did was that when they got to Koholint Island, or its equivalent thereof, we can't go that way. Ah, we can go here. Okay, that was a locked door. Basically, the entity in charge of it all robbed the players of their gear. So they had to essentially go through the dungeons to reacquire their lost gear. I'm going to stop on the D&D talk for a minute because these things, I don't know what they're called, but I kind of like them. And the gimmick is that you need to get them all to match. Club, heart. I want to get them to be on heart. There we go. Heart. Oh, right. Okay, I suppose I should explain. So, those things, if I'm remembering how they work correctly, I could just be mistaken. I'll test it next time I have a chance. Oh, first of all, we found the stone beak. Now to find an owl statue to fit it into. Well, it's right there. But I'll finish my thought on these things at first. If I remember them correctly, the goal is you have to get them all to match, and then you get rewarded. If they are all hearts, then they drop hearts. If they are all diamonds, then they drop rupees. If they're all clubs or spades, they drop nothing. And I was hurt, so I was immediately thinking, oh yeah, make them all hearts. Get hearts. Then I remembered, this is hero mode. Good to know that that doesn't work, though. Turn aside the spine ones with a shield. Yep. That's a hint. And that's basically what the stone beak is. It's a hint system. How do I get down there? Oh, that's how. May as well backtrack and head that way. But, yeah, like, I vaguely remember this room in particular being, like, a large, grand hall area with, like, tables and stuff in it, in my little interpretation. But I can't rightly remember for sure. Oh, yeah, I should also mention, pieces of power, guardian acorns, they don't stack. So, they just kind of override each other. I keep getting so sidetracked. Well, it's fine. I don't really have anything else to add about my interpretation of this dungeon. Just the beginning, how things began. Alright. So, I'm gonna guess this is, what, another key? No, it's the map! Yes, I will push minus to look at it. And the cool thing about this is it kind of follows Zelda 1 rules in that, it's shaped like an enemy. In this case, a Moldorm. So, we've already explored the vast majority of it. There's a locked door here we can go to. We've already seen over here is a locked box, or locked block, across a gap, which we can't get to. And that's about it. In addition, there's a new type of door in this game. See this here? You fit inside and turns you around. Those are one-way doors. You can go in, but you can't go back. So, gotta keep that in mind when exploring later dungeons. Okay, good. The eerie music is back. So, let us... I can't destroy you. There we go. Watch out for the blade traps. I like that they spin. They don't normally spin. I just love all the extra little details. It's so minute, but I love it. Alright, then we got this little trap chamber. Gotta be careful around the Zolls. Should mention the tiny Zolls that you can see. They don't hurt you, but they do slow you down. And when you're dealing with these zappies here, whatever they're actually called, I don't remember off the top of my head. They're kind of like Mario Sparkies. Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do, but let's see if this will tell me. If there's a door that you can't open, move a square block. I can do that! It's telling you gotta push that into place to finish the pattern. Now that they're all connected, you can go through the door. And these are the spined ones. Block with a shield, and you flip them over. And yeah, they're helpless at that point. There's another guardian acorn. I'm just gonna leave it. It won't help me. Turn aside the spine with a shield. Yeah, sometimes they'll be repeating. So, that happens. And now we're in a side-scrolling section. Yeah, this game has those. Control is still very much the same. It's just you can't go up or down unless you're on a ladder. And we got Goombas. Well, you know what you gotta do with a Goomba, right? Yep, you can stomp them. And if we weren't in hero mode, stomping on them would guarantee a heart to drop. But because we're in hero mode, no hearts, just stomping. Anyways, clear that little cave, and now we are here. This is how we get to the face of the Moldworm, as it were. Go down this long passageway. There's actually supposed to be something else in that passageway, but again, hero mode, so there's no hearts. But it wouldn't be just any hearts. There would be hearts in the air, for we now have the Rock's Feather! It feels like your body is a lot lighter. With the Rock's Feather, I'm not going to use the magic powder for a while, so I'll just dock that. You can jump! Say hello to the second Zelda game to have a jump button. I almost forgot that Zelda 2 exists. You can attack in the air, of course. I don't remember if you could in the original. I don't think you could, actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah, in normal mode, there would be some flying hearts here. And there's other items that can be found flying. And with them, with the Rock's Feather, rather, you can get them. Something about the jumping in this feels a little stiff. I don't know, maybe, I think it's because it's moving it a lot like how the original did, but the core game is so much smoother that it's kind of jarring in comparison? I don't know, maybe that's just me. Regardless, this is what you're supposed to do with these, blocks. Or these gaps, rather. This is what you do with the blocks. They use keys, just like locked doors. And if I remember right, this is going to be the Nightmare Key. Am I correct? Yup! You got the Nightmare Key. Now you can open the door to the Nightmare's lair. Should clarify, nightmares are bosses. Plain and simple. So we're going to be heading around here. Just ignore the mini Moldorm. Get rid of the Stalfos. I'm pretty sure it's a Stalfos. It might just be a Stal child. I am not quite sure. Now, we can jump across this gap and say hello to our mini-boss. He's kind of hilarious. I don't know what this thing's called, actually. But he jumps around and throws his, spiky wheel log of doom around, and I'm dead. Because I only had half a heart. I gotta make my way back to him. Luckily, he ain't that far. Okay, it still does kick you back to the entrance of the dungeon. I had a feeling that'd be the case. And yeah, I've been seeing it say saving a lot, so I knew that I wasn't going to lose anything. And we've still got the Nightmare's Key, as you can see up on the top left. Obviously, we've still got the Rock's Feather. So just a hop, skip, and a jump, quite literally, and we're back here. Ugh. I just kind of noticed the mini-boss music in there. Not gonna lie, not a fan. Anyways, defeating the mini-boss also opens this. Step inside. And a quick warp back to the beginning of the dungeon, which you can then use to warp back to where you were. An incredibly useful tool, and downright mandatory in a couple of parts. But, yeah, I'm gonna need to re-listen to the mini-boss music there, because that's a little... I don't know, it just didn't sound right. Again, this might just be nostalgia glasses at this point. Ooh. And then we have this charming little chamber, complete with skeletons, just hanging there. What could this be, one wonders? Well, let's open this nightmare door and find out. Say hello to Moldor. Buzz, outsider. Moldor. Okay, good. This music's still good. The Come on, open your tail. There we go. Yeah, Moldorm's pretty straightforward. Gotta hit him in the tail when it's red. I can get behind him. There we go. And he's dead. If you were to fall into one of those pits, you would end up in the room with the hanging skeletons. That's what that's there for. It's literally just a return chute. Killing Moldorm nets us a piece, not a piece of heart, a heart container. You got a heart container! Your maximum number of hearts increased, and your health has been refilled too! And a reward. You got the full moon cello. Oh my lord, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Swamp. A path opens in the blooms. Sorry, just hearing that melody. Oh, it just takes me right back. Anyway, we've got an owl to talk to. That is an instrument of the sirens. I have to admit, at first I did not believe you were real. That instrument, along with the 7 others in the set, has the power to wake the wingfish. You must collect them all. I was instructed to give you directions. Your next goal is north in Gapunga Swamp. Hoot indeed. Hoot indeed, my feathered friend. Gapunga Swamp. That is indeed the next primary destination. Or at least it would be. But, the kids seem panicked. Hey, buddy, it's serious! Yeah, really serious! Yeah, it is. The moblins came to the village. Yeah, that's right, a whole gang of moblins. Then, it's for real, they all went to the house. Yeah, that house! And then they did something at Bow Wow's house. It was a really bad scene with the moblins. So, I mean, ah! It might be fast to find out for yourself what happened. What is it with the music in this game? I swear, it's very hit and miss for me so far. Like, this is the second remix I've outright not liked. And I can't really put my finger on why for it. Ugh, jeez. I don't know, maybe I'm just being too hard to please. It's terrible! My Bow Wow was dognapped by moblins! Oh, please, somebody help my poor Bow Wow! Yep, indeed. Bow Wow the Chain Chomp has been dognapped by moblins. And I think we're gonna be, dealing with that little crisis next time on The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I'll go ahead and just say right now that while there are been a couple of the music choices that have been a little bit for me, pretty much everything else about this has been absolutely spectacular. So, all in all, I'd say it's a minor gripe. I'm still loving this, and it's still very much the game I remember. And that's all I could have asked for. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Goodbye.